Well, howdy, Pastor Mark Driscoll here with our oldest daughter, Ashley, and a book project called Pray Like Jesus that we've been working on together. Do you remember when you were a little girl, kind of the tucking you in at bedtime routine?
Oh yeah, yep.
What were the elements, if they come to mind? You were young.
I was usually wrapping me up like a burrito, putting all my covers around me and making sure I was comfy, and then we would pray and talk about what we were thankful for that day and just talk to Jesus.
We spent time in prayer, and we'd always read the kids' Bible, and then sometimes we'd even sing together, despite my horrific voice.
That's true.
And I'll never forget, there was one night I was tucking you in, probably just wrapped you up like a burrito, and I prayed and you prayed, spent some time in scripture, and then you said something that was revolutionary for me. And I was a Christian pastor and a Bible teacher at the time, and you just smiled. You probably don't remember it because you were so little, and you kind of pulled the covers up and you said, I'm so lucky I have a daddy in heaven and a daddy on earth who both love me and listen to me. And then you just went to sleep. And I remember thinking, now finally I understand prayer. Up until that point, I had really struggled with prayer. I read the Bible a lot, went to church, loved God, and I did pray, but I didn't pray much or well. I knew I could and should pray better, but for some reason, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. And then in that moment, seeing it from your perspective as a child, kind of opened it up that I'm still God's child. So maybe share with them kind of where we're going using that theme for the book.
Yeah, definitely. The idea of having childlike faith and not having any fear in talking to Jesus about, talking to God about the things that are going on in your life. He knows what's going on, but to share that with him and to allow him into the difficulties and the things we celebrate in our lives, and just talking to him, having a conversation that's continual. It doesn't need to be something that's super scripted or super planned. It's just having a conversation whenever you want to talk to him about anything in your life, and having a childlike faith in that way.
And when we study Jesus' prayer life, he teaches us over and over and over to talk to God as Father. And so the point is that our conversations with God in prayer are a child and a dad relationship, and that's what Jesus models for us. So we thought it'd be fun to do this project together as a father-daughter, because even though I'm a father and I have that perspective through Ashley and our other kids, I also see through their eyes, and it reminds me that God is also my father, and in relation to him, I am a child. So in relation to prayer, what are some of the life experiences that you've had, even as a young woman, that kind of help you understand prayer as a relational conversation with God as Father?
Yeah. Well, it was always part of our family routine where we would pray before dinner. We would talk about what we were thankful for. You would tuck us in and pray. And that kind of habit built into my adult life as well. And as I got older, I just learned that when I was journaling and praying and reading on my own, that was a relationship that I could have with God that you and Mom had modeled for me. And that I wasn't afraid or scared to just continue it on my own. And then moving out, going to college, getting married, making all these big decisions, I had learned that the best thing you can do is to pray. And so even through college, helping at a 24/7 prayer tent, that's all we did all day was pray, and pray for our campus, pray for people around us, learn different methods of prayer and studying prayer in the Bible, just letting it be a central part of my life that helps to direct everything that I do and all the relationships I have and decisions and everything else, and having it be that cornerstone that you and Mom modeled for me as a little kid.
Cool. Well, we're super proud of you. And so that's the big idea behind the Pray Like Jesus project. Getting to know God as Father is really the big idea. So we don't focus a lot on prayer. We focus on God as Father. And once you know who your dad is, it's a lot easier to talk to him.
Absolutely.
And kind of our model is that we don't look at religious people for examples of how to pray. We look at kids and how they interact with parents who love them. So it's a real practical, simple, deeply biblical book. And thank you for doing it with me, sweetheart.
Yeah, happy to do it.